Welcome back to one of my favorite sports podcasts, Frizz and the Grizz, with your host Trudeau and my guy, Frizzy Frizz.
Hello and welcome back to Frizz and the Grizz. It's your boy Trudeau. Thank you for joining us live Monday, September 8th. You can catch us live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Check out that Twitch handle at DFrizzy_. _Frizz5. Or if you only catch part of the show now, get the whole thing on podcast next day. Apple, Spotify, all those good places. Just search Frizz and the Grizz will show up. Great show for you today. We are back. And I mean, we are back as a country, as a show, everything. Football is back and everyone is happy today. We're going to go through most of the games from week one. We're not going to touch on the Monday night game because it's occurring right now. But before we get into the football action, D, what it do?
What up? What up? Football is back. Life is good. Whether your team won or caught an L over the weekend, or even this past, if we're talking about college, life is really good. Summer's coming down to a close. I think it's closed down for you guys, but it's like I think we did our last swim this past weekend. Might not go again, but when the weather's starting to cool down, it's brisk in the morning, hoodies and sweatpants, football on Saturdays and Sundays. It really isn't. There isn't a better time of the year than right now.
I love fall, man.
It's just the best. It's OVO all day, baby. October, baby, for me. I know you're August, so it's like these 3 months. I said it in work today. September, October, November, I think are the best 3 months in like the year. Maybe you can stretch it to August for your birthday. I'm saying it because September is the end of summer, October obviously for my birthday, and November is Thanksgiving. That 3 month window is like perfect for me.
Facts. I'm there with you, my man.
It's my guys I'm talking about.
So did you enjoy the football slate this weekend?
Did I enjoy it? Man, look, even though, and we'll talk about it, my team caught the L, I was at least excited to see what I saw. I'll say that. We'll see what leads for the rest of the season. I know this is going to be heavy NFL, but I'm near and dear to the college game. Past 2 weeks have been absolutely incredible for LSU. So yeah, football is I'm in a very, very happy spot right now.
So just to recap for today, NFL Week 1.
Yeah,
we have a Frizz's 5.
Ooh,
we have our gambling picks. It's a jam-packed show, so let's not delay the people anymore. Let's get right into it. There are so many places we could start today, but I think there's only one appropriate game to start with. It is the Ravens versus the Bills. And first of all, I just want to say this. I know these two teams cannot meet in the Super Bowl because they're both in the same conference. But this felt like a Super Bowl game. And I mean that because this is the creme de la creme in the NFL playing on Sunday night. And we got what we wanted, 40-41, a wild comeback, two quarterbacks at their absolute apex, dicing it up. Like, this is the ultimate game to start our NFL season.
You really can't ask for a better kickoff. I know the phrase waiting all day for Sunday night, that's like the marquee game of the week, right? And although there was a slate of games that we saw on Sunday, there was some NFL on Friday, there was some NFL on Thursday. Like, we got a good weekend of football. That Sunday night game, Bills-Ravens, just recapped as to the reason why we love to watch the game. Like you said, two quarterbacks, albeit, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Little to no turnovers. I don't think those two had any turnovers themselves. Other turnovers came from other players in the field. So we saw two MVP level quarterbacks play at the MVP level. Like, it wasn't like one played better than the other. We'll go into it and, as to whose fault when it comes to the L. But Lamar Jackson did what you expect to do. You score 40 points, you win a game. And Josh Allen did what you expect to do. You put up 41 points and you expect to win the game. So, like, they did what they were supposed to on offense. We got treated to a hell of a show last night.
Is it fair to say that these two quarterbacks are the best in the league? And
yeah.
And I don't want to disparage Patrick Mahomes, but he's become so good that he plays almost boring, which is good. I mean, he wins games, not this weekend, but he plays a style that wins you games. These two quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, I don't think it's even controversial to say they're the two best quarterbacks in the league right now.
They are the most exciting. I'm still going to pull the reins back on best, just because until you dethrone the champ, the crown is still his.
Jalen Hurts to throw.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a top 5, he's in the 5th spot. I'll tell you that. But no, I think they are the two most exciting quarterbacks to put on Sundays. If you say, hey, we want to watch a quarterback play, you're gonna pull up, just like in the old days, you're gonna watch Drew Brees,
Let me ask you
you're gonna
this
watch
question.
Peyton Manning, but people say that Tom Brady was boring to watch.
D.
Yeah.
Gun to your head. You need to pick a quarterback to lead a game-winning drive. Who are you taking?
Do I have their team, or is it just the quarterback?
It's them on the same team because I might go Josh Allen right
It's
now.
got to be Josh Allen. It
Dog,
has to
he's
be.
insane.
Yeah, and that's no slight to Mahomes. It's just Mahomes has a lot more struggle around him right now with that team. Josh Allen is like, look, I don't give a damn what we have out there. We'll just put the team on my back, and I'm gonna carry us to this win. And that's exactly what he did last night.
It's wild. All right, so before we get into the negatives, right? I do want to give the flowers. We already did like
Sure.
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. You can't put the game on either of those guys. They've proven to be apex at the position. Now I will say this. Let's get to the negative. With 4 minutes left in the game, this is insane. The win probability
99.9. I saw it.
99. I saw 99.1, but it was over 99%
Yeah.
win probability for the Ravens, and that thing swung the other way. I think they had a 16-point lead with 4 minutes to go.
4.5. Yep.
Yeah, and the Bills somehow found a way to win this thing.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's plenty of areas. I won't say like pointing of the blame, but there's plenty of areas that people need to take responsibility. First, and I'll give you the other point too, but at least for me, first is coaching. Harbaugh's got to figure out a way to close out these damn games. Like, you can't be this good and have this talented of an offense and not be able to close games. They were 10-0 going into that game when Derrick Henry rushed for 100 yards or more. The motherfucker had like 170. So, like, you're supposed to win that game. And he was gashing for like 20 yard here, 30 yard there, and then 3, 4, 5. Like, it wasn't just like one big run that got him. No, there was multiple. Like, they controlled the offensive side of things. Lamar Jackson, I know people say, well, he's not throwing for 300 yards. Not the best quarterback. He still put up over 300 yards worth of all-purpose yards. That's just as important as the throwing it for 300. And the biggest point for this is he had 0 turnovers. Like Lamar, we saw this last year. They were prone to that one interception that you go, why? And then you go back to it, or the fumble on the goal line. You go back to it and go, that's what caused it. He didn't have that this game. So when you look at Harbaugh, as hot as the Bills are on that team, you can't punt that ball on 4th and 3. You know how damn good your team is. Like, put the ball in Lamar Jackson's hands. Put the ball in Derrick Henry's hands, somebody on offense. And if you fail, you're still in the same spot where the Bills need a field goal to take the win. So, like, all you did was just give them the time to kick the field goal for the win when they were already hot. I just don't like that call. Harbaugh's got to put his, what they say, put your nuts on the table. Like, be big balls in this situation. We're going to win this game on offense. We're not going to rely on the defense that's already given up 30-plus points.
Yeah, that's fair. And they should learn from history because I think the Bills, while they did lose the game against the Chiefs in the playoffs a couple of years ago, right?
Did it, yeah.
They've scored in, 20-something seconds. So the history has shown that it's happened before. I do think Harbaugh is an interesting discussion point because Lamar historically has been the scapegoat for these things, and to be fair, he has deserved criticism in the past for making horrendous decisions late in games.
Plenty of times.
I've seen the statistic. We talked about 99.1% win probability for the Ravens last night. I think in the past, since Lamar has joined the Ravens have 9 times in the past with Lamar blown a lead with 90 in the fourth quarter when they had 90% or greater win probability. And again, historically, we could point at Lamar, but Lamar over the past couple of years has really shown his ability to cut down on the mistakes. And especially in this game, he played a perfect game, 14 for 19, no turnovers, made all the right passes, did not put his team in jeopardy. At some point, we have to look elsewhere to figure out what is going on here because, like, they lead the league in these sorts of blown leads, and it cannot be Lamar at this point. I don't think they get rid of Harbaugh because, again, this is a very successful football program, but some things have to change there.
Well, it's deeper than just Harbaugh, right? And the Ravens historically, we've always talked about, especially when you think about the AFC North, like they are a defensive led team. That shit is gone, right? I love Roquan Smith. I think he's an absolutely incredible linebacker. They brought in Jair Alexander, who's supposed to be a shutdown corner. He didn't really shut shit down last night. Obviously, we got Marlon Humphrey, who's the Bama nickel / safety cornerback. Like he's the guy that plays literally every single position on the field outside of D tackle. So like, and they got Kyle Hamilton. Like they have studs, like first round pick after first round pick after first round pick, and they're still don't having a defensive identity, right? In these bigger games, not saying that they'll blow out the Browns. You know, they'll play the Titans, they'll blow them out. That's where they get their stats, the pick sixes and turnovers. They get them against the sorry teams. But when they play the Chiefs, when they play the Bengals, when they play the Bills, when they have better quarterbacks, that defense does not stand up to par by any means. And that's a prime example of it last night. You can't give up 22 points in the fourth quarter. That's just like an improbable way of winning any football game. Even if you're up 21-0, you can't give up 22 points in the fourth quarter. That has nothing to do with the quarterback. I don't care what anybody says about, well, he could have got more first downs. No. Those are NFL players too on the other side. They got to be able to make a stop. They're getting paid just as much good money as those wide receivers and those left tackles at the linebacker, corner, and safety position. You got to nut up and you got to be able to play defense, and they did not last night.
Well, thankfully for them, it's week one. It's not the playoffs. I think if you played this game over again, I could see the Ravens winning the next time. This is literally like a 50-50.
Just about to say that. Teams. Yeah. They played 10 times. It's a split 5-5. It's not like 7-3, 8-2. No, this is those teams line up 5 times. The Ravens are getting 5 and the Bills are getting 5. So if this matchup happens in the playoffs, expect this to swing the Ravens' way. This is a road game for the Ravens. So like for everybody that's got like the panic button up for the Ravens, is like, no. They lost a game that they shouldn't have lost, but the offense did what we expected them to do, put 40 points. The Bills happened to beat history and beat the team that hasn't lost when Henry rushes for 100, or the team that puts up 40 points. Like they happen to be one of the only teams in history to do something that they did last night. So the alarms need to just cool down with like the Ravens aren't still a team that might be in the Super Bowl this year. Yeah,
and on the Bills side, they did get a win, and it was wildly impressive what Josh Allen did. But again, there are red flags on the Bills side. They gave up 40 points. They have issues of their own in the secondary, right? So both teams, again, this is not a knock. They both played excellent. There are things to take home from this and improve upon. I don't know if it's easily as adjustable for the Bills, again, because I believe the Ravens have a better personnel, and I think it's more of a scheme that did them in. I actually am a little more worried about the Bills, just because, again, they did pull off the miraculous comeback, but again, giving up 40 points, I don't see easy answers for them because they don't have the personnel defensively to just switch a couple things in a few weeks and have it ease out.
Yeah, the bigger thing for the Ravens is, I know I just literally clowned them out individually. Like you said, they have the talent, right? They have the players that it's going to click at some point. It always does middle of the season for the Ravens. And they're not judged weeks 1 through 17, right? Not stressing about the Ravens weeks 1 through 17. Bills, on the other hand, as Caleb Williams rushes for a rushing touchdown, good for him. Bills, on the other hand, they don't have those studs where like injuries usually hurt them later on in the season. We saw Von Miller go down that hurt their season last year. Like they get these key injuries. I know they got Joey Bosa now. He was kind of a non-factor last night. Like they get those key ones that hurt them in the playoffs because now you have to throw everything onto Josh Allen's back. I'm not saying that they found a diamond in the rough last night because Keon Coleman isn't like a random wide receiver, but like, yeah, he's a first-round pick, and he looked like he was the number 1 last night. So, like, they got some good things on offense. It's just defensively, like you said, they have their problems that they're going to come across when they face, the teams in the AFC East and when they face those teams that they most likely have to, which is the AFC North this year.
Can I just take 1 second before we move on to the next matchup? Just to marvel at the fact that Josh Allen, a kid that came out of Wyoming. And I remember, because we're up in New England, I remember watching his first couple seasons. and just thinking like, what the hell are they doing? Like, this is such a stupid pick. You got this guy in the first round. He was so bad in the first couple seasons. And going from like a 1-star, whatever, 2-star recruit, I don't know how many stars he had, to Wyoming, to being 0 stars, to then going and being a terrible quarterback for the Bills in his first 2 seasons, seeing Josh Allen have that transformation to being the guy that I literally asked you a minute ago, gun to your head, who's leading the drive to save your life? And our answer is both Josh Allen. It's insane. The trajectory of his career is unbelievable.
Good for him. Yeah, he's at the top of the world right now when it comes to being the quarterback in the NFL.
And also
He's
seems
just
like
got to finish the deal though. Yeah. Well, he does commercials. Like he's got the full package when it comes to like what you want out of a quarterback. He's on DirecTV commercials, like he's on Subway commercials, like he's playing MVP level. He's doing the things that you go, oh yeah, that's that. If I were to ask if this guy were the best quarterback in the NFL, like a random person, they'd look at tape and go, yeah, it's him.
Insane. All right, let's pivot and talk another game. I want to talk Bucks Falcons because obviously that's my team. I watched a decent amount of the game. It was. Is it safe to say outside of the Bills Ravens the most exciting game of the weekend? You could say 49ers.
I mean, well, no, not really 49ers by any means. Yeah, I guess I'll give you that. There were some. I mean, Steelers Jets was a good game to watch.
It was a good game.
For people that were, they might say that, oh, it's the Steelers Jets. Cowboys Eagles was good. I know that was on Thursday. So yeah, I'll give you top 3 most exciting games outside of what we watched last night. Sure.
I want to start on the Falcons side.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcons found a dude.
Yeah, Penix has been that guy.
Michael Penix. He has the it factor. I don't know how to describe the it factor. It's not, a summation of his throws and decisions during the game, but in very critical clutch moments, he does not seem to be rattled at all, and he elevates his game. The drive where they take the lead or tied the game, I forget where it was in the score. It was like the last couple of minutes of the game, but he keeps the play alive, rolls out, stretches across the end zone, gets the touchdown. It's like this guy, it's hard to just get that title, like that stamp of approval, but just a winner. And I think the Falcons, I know we clowned them at the time for having Kirk Cousins, drafting Michael Penix. What are they doing? We can criticize the Kirk Cousins angle of this, but like drafting Michael Penix seemed to be the right decision for them.
100%. And the drive you're talking about is 8 minutes, 91 yards, 18 plays. I don't know how much better, and that's in the fourth quarter. That's the best way to put away a game. You took up 3/4 of the quarter, time-wise or time of possession-wise, and it ended with a touchdown. Like, that's putting the team, as we keep saying, on your back with being that guy. And this is his first full year as a starter. Will be his first full year as a starter. He's not a rookie, but I watched him play at Washington. One of the most, if not the most accurate college football quarterback like in the last 25 years. So like he has that translates into the NFL, right? Accuracy does. Arm strength, you'll get that over time, but he knows where to throw the ball. Lefty, so like that can throw people off, obviously. But London looked good last night because of the throws that he was able to make. I don't think they have a run game, which is going to hurt them at the end of the day. Bijan Robinson,
they can use it as an extension of the run game and the passing game, which is nice.
Yeah, but like we don Bijan as like the number 1 running back in the league this year, and like he's got the potential, but the Bucks aren't like the creme de la creme when it comes to defenses, and they stuffed him last night because they were like, "Hey, Penix, you're gonna have to try to beat us," and Penix did. So like he might see that more often this year than the latter, which is he gets free roam running because it's like a Philadelphia Eagles offense.
Yeah, the Bucks don't have like a creme de la creme defense, not a top 5 defense, but their run defense is very good, led by Vita Vea. Like that's a good run stuffing defense. It's their pass rush that has been their issue in the past. Yeah, I mean, everything was a great win for the Bucks. It was a tough spot for them too because they go into the game without Tristan Wirth, their left tackle, all-pro left tackle. You don't have Chris Godwin yet on the road, opening up against a division rival. It was a weird ending, to say the least.
For those that didn't watch, how did the end of the game go? For those that didn't watch,
so the Bucks drive down. It was an excellent drive. Baker Mayfield kept several plays alive in the pocket. doing Baker things, and they connect on like a 25-yard touchdown to I'm gonna butcher the name. Emeka,
Mekumbaka. Yeah, Mekumbaka.
Emeka Ubaka. Thank you. It's a tough
Yep.
one. I gotta
Yeah,
get
it's
that
not
down as
easy.
a Bucks fan.
He's on your team, so go ahead.
Yeah. So they scored the going ahead touchdown. They're up by 3. Game feels like it's over, right? They line for the PAT. Fucking kicker doings it on the PAT. So now it's a field goal game. This is what, like 2 minutes to go. Michael Penix can get him a field goal range. Absolutely drives down the field, slicing and dicing. They get Younghoe Koo, Falcons kicker. I think it was like a 40-something yarder. It was like mid-40. It was nothing that was too insane to tie the game.
Definitely
And this
makeable.
dude, by the way, before that play, the weirdest thing happened.
What, he missed the first one?
No, the last play of the game before the field goal attempt, and I texted you this. I was like, this feels like so fishy. They have I don't know who the wide receiver was. He ran a go route.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's one of those things where it's like we're just going to take an end zone shot to win the game. And he gets tangled up at the cornerback a little bit, but he's free on the go route. He never really turns around to like locate the ball in the air, and he was like wide open, and it just sailed over his head. And then of course I'm like, I have a feeling they're going to miss this kick and lose the game now. And in true Falcons fashion, you know, we got the 28-3. True Falcons.
You got to bring that up, huh? Damn.
They have to just blow the game on a missed field goal. So I'll take a win where I can get it. Very good game. I think both teams, though, you can come out of this feeling really good. These are two very good football teams. The Bucks should probably have a pretty good handle on the division now, because I don't think the Saints nor the Panthers are any competition. And now we have that road win against the Falcons. It's feeling nice right now going forward.
Yeah, that was big. And the Bucks, again, we've said it here. I've admitted that I think the Bucks will win the NFC South. Falcons will play hard to give them a run for their money, but starting off division games week 1 are tough because you put yourself in a hole when you lose that game, because somebody's gonna lose. It doesn't happen very often. We're at the tie. So like all of these teams that had division games week 1, like that is not an easy makeup game. And bigger one is the Falcons lost on the road. So like that's the game that, as we talked about, we will talk about, I'm sure, when it comes to like the Cowboys Eagles, that's the game you have to win, because you might not get another chance at that type of victory later on in the season.
Yeah, and I just think Bucks nailed it with Emeka Egbuka. I told you
good
going into their fantasy drafts segment that they like this kid, and they didn't need a wide receiver in the first round. They went out of their way to draft him, and he seems like the real deal. So even when Godwin, if he comes back, he's not himself, or when Evans eventually retires, it looks like they can replenish.
That guy.
Yeah, the future seems bright for the Bucks. We're going for 5 straight division titles, which is excellent. Excellent stuff.
Good for them. Yeah, good for them. The Bucks are great. Let's move on to a different game, please.
All right, where do you want to go next?
I'm actually going to go for the defending Super Bowl runner-ups, because this was an alarming game. And I know it took place in Sao Paulo. Was it Sao Paulo? Sao Paulo? Did I say that right?
Sao Paulo, Brazil, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm terrible with like pronouncing that. It happened in Brazil. We'll say that. KC looked old. And I've done a lot of bashing on Justin Herbert, or as Stephen A. Smith called him, A-Bear. And I was like, that's just terrible that you called him A-Bear. But yeah, I don't know why. He just was like, oh, Justin A-Bear. And I was like, that's not his name. Like, I've joked around, but like, I wouldn't even do that. Like, I'll call Go Burt, but like, let me give some respect to Justin. Justin Ball, he looked good. And for people like myself that have clowned on Quentin Johnston, he looked good. Like, he looked miserable in the preseason, and he came out, and I'm pretty sure he had, 5 for 79 and 2 touchdowns. Like, that's what you want as your number one receiver. I know Ladd McConkey to me is their number one, but Quentin was also a first-round draft pick a couple years ago. So let's hope that they have both of those. Amarian Hampton didn't really struggle, but, he solid 3.5, 4 yards per carry. You can't be mad at that. And the fact that they won, that's the bigger thing for the Chargers. Problem is Mahomes did the Mahomes thing. He put up 250, couldn't get touchdown passes because everybody else was just not making plays. We're seeing how much of an impact Rashid Rice not being out there is going to hurt this team. And if it were not for a flukish blown coverage on Kelsey, they wouldn't have scored 21. Like that touchdown that Kelsey caught, there was nobody within like 20 yards of him. That's not going to happen every week, right? And if this Chiefs offense is only going to put up 14 to 17 points per game, that's not good. Not good at all when they don't really have the running game that they used to in the past. This is Patrick Mahomes led the team in rushing. You can't have that. He's not a running quarterback.
On a scale from 1 to 10, what's your panic level on the Chiefs?
I'm at like a 6.
That's
and I love
fair.
the Chiefs. I love the Chiefs. I love Pat. Pat's going to be my number one quarterback until somebody knocks him off. And like I'm talking about playoff knocking him off, not regular season. But you can only carry so much when your team is not going to live up to par. He is not the most athletically gifted quarterback where he can run for 100 like a Josh or a Lamar. He's athletic enough to move in the pocket, but his strength is precision passing and throws down the field. He can't throw the ball down the field because the offensive line is still very, very bad, and he can't run the ball without a run game. So your best receiver being Travis Kelce is 37. Hollywood Brown got nicked up. What's his name? Xavier Worthy got nicked up. Like, they're in some trouble offensively, and as good as that defense is, they can only carry so much. So like they looked old on Thursday.
I'm actually more worried about that defense than the offense.
Yeah,
because their bread was buttered last year.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to have a very mid offense last year, and the defense held them in a lot of games where they could win by one possession.
Yeah,
and granted, Justin Herbert did look great, but 27 points is a lot to give up in the NFL, right? 21 and under is probably like a good zone to be. Giving up 27 is not great. Especially, again, like you mentioned, this offense just doesn't look right. Didn't look right last year. They're losing bodies. They thought they shored up the offensive line. It still looks shaky as hell. I do think with the Chiefs, though, we will see, give it a couple weeks, it'll smooth over a little bit offensively.
Yeah.
But I don't think this defense is the same defense that carried them to the Super Bowl so many years. They are getting older on defense. They've lost players left and right. But on the flip side, I will say this. The Chargers defense in the second half of the year last year was a top 10 defense over the last 8 games. So this is not a pushover defense the Chiefs did play. 21 points, fine against that team. However, you did mention that last touchdown was a complete blown coverage fluke. So it really was more like a 14-point performance by the Chiefs. I don't know what the answer is for them. At some point they'll get Rashee Rice back, but is that going to be enough to fix their problems? I don't know. I don't want to get too crazy right now. It's only week 1, but to me, they're a prime candidate to call up the Miami Dolphins and say,
"Oh boy, you talk that now?
Do you want a reunion with Tyreek Hill? Because they need to change something up here. Because again, I'm with you. Panic level on the Chiefs is a 6, but if their aspirations are Super Bowl, this isn't the team right now.
No, and so there have been so many rumors that have been thrown. Yeah, go ahead.
If their aspirations even win in this division, because they're in a damn good division now.
Really
the
tough.
Broncos are here. I mean, they looked a little rocky in the first game, but everyone loves the Broncos. The Chargers have elevated their game, and don't sleep on the Oakland Raiders or Las Vegas Raiders, excuse me, because the Raiders are a good team now.
Yeah. So this loss, and I know I talked about division losses week 1. This loss is very important for the Chiefs because of their schedule. Their schedule. Because they're one of the best teams in the NFL, you have to put them on the nationally televised games, right? You can't put them on at 1 o'clock all the time. Their next couple of games, they got the Eagles next week. That's a tough one. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to be easy for them to win. Then they get a little bit of a bye playing the Giants. I'll give them that. Let's see how the Giants are by week 3. But then they got the Ravens, another semi-bye against the Jags. And then they got the Lions.
Jags aren't terrible this year, it doesn't look like.
No, but like I'm saying, like they have a tough schedule where the games that like you might be favored, you got to find a way to win because you're going to be screwed if you start dropping these games against teams that you're supposed to win. And if we're talking, like you just said, Super Bowl or bust for the Chiefs, we might need to see an in-season move, and I know them phones are ringing in Miami, especially with the way that them Dolphins looked last night. Everybody in the league could use a Tyreek Hill, except for Tua, because he sure as hell don't know how to use
I
him.
will touch on that afterwards.
There is a stat that I heard this morning that I was like, "Oh my god, that's not real," and I was like, "Oh, that's a real stat! Wow,
Is it the one that Tyreek Hill hasn't had a reception over 30 yards in a year?
in a year."
Yeah.
A full calendar year, the fastest guy in the NFL hasn't found a way to get a 30-yard catch in over a year. That is disgusting. Like,
Standing.
Mike McDaniel, I know we don't really need to
We'll get
talk
to that in a
about
second.
they're a crappy team, and that, like, we can touch on, sure, if you want to waste time about the Dolphins, like, that team, I'm telling you, I thought we were the worst team in the NFL. That was a disgrace to putting on football on Sunday, watching that team play.
I heard this analogy today, and I thought it was interesting. You want to hear it?
I'm listening.
All right. So I don't know how much baseball you follow. But
Absolutely not.
yeah. So sometimes you have a guy come in. He faces the top of the order, a pitcher, right? And he looks real nice. Like he goes to the first time batters, maybe he gives up a hit and a walk with no earned runs. Because no one's seen his stuff. Maybe it's like a younger pitcher who you don't have a good scouting report on, so you don't know his stuff yet. It's hard to make contact. But you see the batters come in, see him a second time and a third time, they start to figure out his stuff. You know what I mean? They know where those pitches are going. They can get some good contact.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Mike McDaniel?
100%.
Because his first 2 years, his offense was innovative. It was spacing, crossing routes. He had guys moving everywhere. It was this new, brand new, innovative thing that everyone was like, "Oh my God, Miami's put up 70 points against the Broncos. Like this is insane." Not much has changed since then,
Nope.
and I think everyone has figured out his stuff.
Yeah. Not only that, they don't have the quarterback that's going to get them over the hump.
Tua is bad, by the way. I'm
He's
just going to
not
say
good.
he's bad.
Very, very not good. I'll say that.
He's on Bryce Young watch with for me right now.
Well, don't do that. Whoa. Skirt. Let's not disrespect Bryce Young, because Bryce Young did not, he has a better team this year. His first 2 seasons, he didn't have remotely close the same pieces that Tua Tagovailoa has had his last 3. So let's not compare the two yet. That's disrespectful for you to say some shit like that about Bryce Young. They literally traded, like, he had a receiver in DJ Moore, although he's not DJ Moore's a top 15, maybe top 20 receiver. They traded him away. So, like, Bryce Young had nothing for his first 2 years. So let's before we say he's on Bryce Young alert as a pedestal, not even a pedestal, as a measure to be like, oh, that means like you're not good. Like, no. Hold the fort on Bryce for now.
I like how you're defending Bryce and be like, you can't compare him to it.
No, I know they went to Alabama. There's a lot of comparisons, but not that. Not him. He needs time.
The Dolphins beat the Colts. What was the final? 33-7.
Colts beat the Dolphins.
Excuse me, the Colts beat the Dolphins. It was like 33-7 or something like that.
33-8, yeah.
And the 8 points came at the very end in garbage time when the Colts were playing players.
Devin A. Chain, baby. That not garbage time, not fantasy football, baby.
We don't even think the Colts are that good. Like, I do think they're a decent team, but they're not good.
But, I mean, got to give credit where credit is due. Danny Dimes did something in the first half of that game that no quarterback has done in the last 25 years, and that's score on every single possession. I know that it's not like Hall of Fame worthy, but there's been some damn good quarterbacks in the last 25 years that we've watched, and there's one name outside of Peyton Manning that's been able to score on every single drive in the first half, and now it is one Daniel Jones of the New York Giants. So I'll give him his due. We joke about him. He played phenomenal against one of the worst teams in the NFL last night.
So let's just talk about the Dolphins real quick. I don't think you could say at least offensively. You can't say that they don't have pieces to put together a cohesive, like, fundamentally sound unit.
Right.
You have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane. You have a quarterback that you paid a shit ton of money to in Tua. I don't think they have these major, oh my God, offensive line issues. I I don't know what the answer is. And the worst thing is, it seems like they've lost the locker room. The team is lost. Like they looked so despondent after the game. There's no coming back from that type of loss on the road, being absolutely humiliated by a bad team. McDaniels has to go. Like there's no if, ands, or but about it. He has lost the team. There is no coming back for this man. His magic tricks that he had 3 years ago, there's no more bunnies coming out of the hat, right? There's no more magic, no more miracles for this guy. And when you start losing the locker room and people stop believing in you as a leader, there's no coming back, D.
You can't. The locker room thing is a huge thing, but you can't allow people on national television to look visibly upset week one. There are 30 teams in the NFL, and 29 teams believe that they have a chance to win the Super Bowl still. The Dolphins are the only team that don't. And that's not good. 1 week in, like there are people on the side, Tyreek Hill being one of them, that are just, I don't want to be here type of thing. And it's like, the season's very long. We got until February. And week one, you got people that don't want to play right now. That's not good as an organization. That's not good for the fans, unfortunately. It's just, it's in that, like that away game. I can only imagine what it's going to look like when they get back to Hard Rock. For like, if they go out there and go 3-and-out the first possession, what you're going to hear from the crowd. Like it's not a good spot.
No fans. That's a fan base. Sorry, Dolphins fans. You guys know it.
I mean, there's a lot better things to do in Miami than watch Dolphins.
Yeah. And then on the defensive side, it's not like, well, maybe
they got players on defense.
Have you seen their secondary? Do you know their starting cornerback? One of their starting cornerbacks is literally named Storm Duck, and he got hurt, and he had to come out of the game. They'd go to their 6th-string cornerback. It's bleak in Miami.
I'm just saying they got names. I'll give you that. They got Minkah Fitzpatrick, so it's not like they don't have good players on that defense. He takes up literally 3 positions: linebacker, corner, and safety.
He's solid. Bradley Chubb's solid when he's healthy. Like they have a couple guys that you would like, but this team's
is Ramsey still there?
No, he got traded and then to the Steelers.
Oh yeah.
Danny Dimes, though, they made the right call. I know they got a lot of criticism going to Dimes over Richardson. I don't think Anthony Richardson has that sort of performance. Like he's not a professional like Danny Dimes. And they have, on the Colts side, I will say this: defense is okay, and it looks like they hit something with Tyler Warren. He looks like a very good tight end. He played excellent. They even gave him a carry in the game, right? Michael Pittman seems rejuvenated. Like, I like where this Colts team is going. Do I think it's a long-term thing? No, because Danny Dimes is not the answer. But this could be a sneaky, fringy, like, come back and we talk in January and they're in the hunt or like in a wild card spot at that point.
Yeah, and we know, like you said, we know Daniel Jones. I don't keep calling him Danny Dimes. We know Daniel Jones.
I like that nickname.
It's a good one. But we know his peak, right? And it's not an elevated like division winner type peak. And for the Colts, they have good pieces that will get you some wins against teams that they probably shouldn't get wins against. And that's a good thing. They're just going to be a middler, unfortunately. Like they won't be good enough to really make a run, but they won't be bad enough to like replace Jones. So like they're gonna have to get it through free agency. And whoever was criticizing the move to go with Daniel Jones over Anthony Richardson, they need to lose their job. There's no criticism for that. That was the decision to make. I said it on draft night. Why are you picking Anthony Richardson? He played 6 games in college and lost 3 of them. So like how would he become a top 5 pick? And then we just expected it to work because he threw the ball from the 5-yard line to the other, the other 10-yard line. Like, cool, you got on YouTube, but like, does that translate into being a football player? And we see here clearly it doesn't. If Daniel Jones is the starting quarterback for the team now,
it was mostly the fan base unhappy with that decision. But you did mention Minkah Fitzpatrick. He did get traded for Jalen Ramsey, who now plays for the Steelers, who made the game-saving or game-ending play against the Jets. That game was bananas. It was one of the lowest over-unders of the weekend. I think it was 46 46.5 or somewhere 45.5 over under. I think the game ended with a 65 point score, somewhere around 70 points scored.
66. Yeah, 66.
66 points scored. My question to you is, do you believe any of that you saw between the Jets and Steelers? Because I think that's one of those weird week one fluky things that we're going to look back on in a couple weeks and be like, how the hell did the Steelers and Jets combine for 66 points? How did that happen?
I'm not ready to say that the Jets are ready to compete in the AFC East, but I will say that the Steelers will be able to compete in the AFC North. Listen to me. Listen to me. Look, if he stays healthy, Aaron Rodgers didn't play bad last year on a bad team being the New York Jets. Did he really, though? Like, go look at his stats. He didn't. He wasn't great.
Okay, mister. You're always
hear me. Okay, so he wasn't afraid to take shots, but he has weapons to take shots now. He has weapons to. Jalen Warren isn't a good running back, so like he has to force himself to throw. And the motherfucker went 22 for 30, 4 touchdowns against the NFL defense. Like DK Metcalf, although he fumbled the ball 20 times before he caught it on one of the passes, like he's still the number 1 receiver. Calvin Austin showed up. Like they got players that are making plays. And I'm not saying it's a rejuvenated Aaron Rodgers, but like he's not in the media. He's keeping his mouth quiet. Mike Tomlin's got him under a muzzle just to be like, hey, just go out there and play football. And is it a weird game? Yeah. Like I don't expect the Jets to score 30 points a game the rest of the season like this, but they did it. And both Fields and Rodgers looked good. I just don't think that it's going to continue for the Jets like I think it will continue for the Steelers.
Now you got me fired up because you were saying, well, the stats said he wasn't that bad last year. You're Mr. Fuck analytics, fuck the stats. I see it with my eyes. That's who you are, and you're just trying to hit me with stats. I know with my eyes when I watch Aaron Rodgers when he was a Jet.
Jets team was miserable though.
Well, let me finish. He was so reluctant to take any type of physicality or sacks. He would be like, nope, you're coming to sack me. I'm not holding onto the ball any longer than I have to. See you later. I'm out. I'll come out next drive. And that is my concern with him in the Steelers. But I will say, like, it was a wild game. I think he did get lucky with one non-interception that was completely dropped. So like he did get lucky with that one. I don't believe any of what I saw. I think it was just a fun week one game. To be quite honest,
that was a great game to watch.
It was a great game to watch.
I looked over and like every time I looked over, I was like, "Oh, Justin Fields is making a play." Oh wow, Justin Fields is making a great play. Like it just caught me off guard every time they would show something on Red Zone for the Jets, and it was Justin Fields making the play, not somebody else. Breece Hall obviously went bananas. Good for him. Those two may complement each other throughout the season because you got a running quarterback and a good running back. Obviously better than having a statue as a quarterback when they had Aaron Rodgers there last year. But Garrett Wilson did Garrett Wilson things. Like he looked like the best receiver on that team for the Jets. I don't see this type of thing continuing, but the Jets looked like a competent football team yesterday, and you can't be mad at that.
Yeah. I will say they do look much improved from last year. Their identity is going to be to pound the ball with a combination of Frizz Hall and Justin Fields. And to your point, yeah, I thought the play calling was excellent from the Jets side. Like they used Fields in a lot of designed runs. I really, really, really liked the go-ahead touchdown they had before Rodgers came back with the strong bootleg. It wasn't even like I'm bringing a pulling blocker to help you, Fields. Like we're gonna sell the run so bad, you're just gonna bootleg you wide open.
That running, yeah.
I love what they were doing. The Jets are gonna be one of those teams this year for me that they'll probably just be a fun watch, but they'll probably end with like 6 wins.
Yeah, but like, what's their expectation? It's not much more than that. Their win share, their win totals on Vegas had to be like 5. So if they squeeze out 6 wins, how much more is that considered a successful season for them? You know what I'm saying? It's building blocks. I don't think that Justin is going to be I love the way he plays. It's fun. I don't think he's going to be the answer. He's just not that guy yet. But who's to say he doesn't go out there and have some random good enough season, 20 passing touchdowns, 7 picks, 10 rushing touchdowns. And people go, well, hold on a minute. Like, do we bring him back? And like, it just plagues the question of having to. Like, that's a win for the Jets if they have that type of question. And yeah, I read that too. That's why I was laughing earlier, because good old Jeff coming in and saying Dallas still
sucks. They still kind of suck. They'll be
fun.
We'll
go over that game?
Yeah, just one last thing on the Jets Steelers, and we'll go to we'll close off with the Dallas Eagles game. I do think one promising side, at least for the Steelers, is that an issue with Rodgers with the Jets is that he was very much against changing what he's always done in his career. Like, he wants to play a certain style of football. He didn't want to be adaptable and join a province, but like really adapt his play style to a specific play caller. And that's one of the reasons why he ended up by getting forced out of Green Bay, is that he was reluctant to really buy into the LaFleur offense. And what I saw Sunday was a guy who was playing quick with the ball. He was not doing this I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm a gunslinger thing. He's playing within the system, and it did lead to 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. So again, maybe it's just a philosophy thing where now with Rodgers, he's willing to buy into an offense and not try to make his own offense up. And again, you have Mike Tomlin as a coach, you're going to find yourself with 9 wins.
I was also just about to say he's not the biggest ego in the room anymore. He can't be. Mike Tomlin won't play that shit. So like, he may have to like bite his tongue and play, like you just said, within the system, because he's not the most important person in that organization now, which he has been on the Packers. He was on the Jets. He's not with the Steelers. It's Mike Tomlin. That organization goes through him. So like, he has to take a back seat to every decision that's made.
Cowboys versus Eagles. Yeah. What are your big takeaways from that game? Because I know it's a far away from us now. It was Thursday night opener game.
Yeah, I wish this game happened yesterday. Biggest takeaway is, wow, I mean, Cowboys offense is going to look exciting throughout the year. I'll give them that. We said that Dak might put up MVP level stats while having a losing record. He looked good. It probably one of his best games of his career that he had. It was like 21 for 34, 188. No bad decisions. Touchdown passes that could have been made that were drops, like literal drops from your best receivers on the team. So I don't look at that game where they are facing the league's best defense, fresh off of a Super Bowl, away in Philly, and you look at that and go, yeah, that's on Dak's shoulders. Like, no, he put that team in a position to win with as much pressure as the Eagles caused all night, and he didn't make any major mistakes. So kudos to him. My hat goes off. I don't think that they're a playoff team. I joke around and say, that they played phenomenal. Like they played good enough to get themselves a win against the defending Super Bowl champs, and they just unfortunately didn't capitalize in situations that they should have.
Maybe this is a hot take nowadays, but Dak Prescott, he's a good quarterback.
He's not bad.
He's a quarterback that 18 teams would line up and put their hands up and say, I want that guy. I'm a Bucs fan. Sorry, Baker. I would trade Baker for Dak Prescott.
You know who he is? It's Phillip Rivers.
It's a good quarterback.
Phillip Rivers will get into the Hall of Fame, fringe Hall of Famer, and he's going to get you a shit ton of wins and a hell of a lot of stats. That's Dak Prescott. He's not going to win you a Super Bowl, unfortunately. He gets the yips, just like Phillip Rivers would get to the playoffs with a 14-2 team and lose in the division round. Like that. I think those two comps are very similar when it comes to career paths.
So big takeaways for me. Cowboys run game, surprisingly effective.
Yeah.
Like they ran the ball pretty well. They have a shit ton of backs there. I don't know what's going to end up there. I think Javonte Williams is probably the lead guy there, but they have a couple guys they can work in. The run game was solid. I love the 2 wide receivers with CD and George Pickens. Right, I love this offense, and surprisingly, the defense wasn't terrible. Like to give 24 points to the Eagles is not like the end of all things. Like they lose Micah. They were a horrendous defense last year. They trade away Micah Parsons. And it's like, oh boy, this is going to be the Bengals, the Bengals light over here. They're going to give up 30 points a game and have to score, 40 to win every game, but they're going to give up like 35 points. Not a bad defense. I'm going to say this right now, D, with the Cowboys. I would not be surprised at all to see them in the playoffs this year.
Ooh. I'll pull back the reins on that one. You say not a bad display of defense, giving up 24 points. They caused no pressure. So keep that in mind. Jalen Hurts didn't get sacked once. I don't think he had. He may have had 1 or 2 QB pressures.
I
didn't have a lot.
It was a very peculiar decision to play that much man against the Eagles.
Yeah,
because it gave Jalen Hurts so many opportunities on the ball.
And that's all he did. Anytime he saw that AJ wasn't able to separate, or I think they shut down both AJ and Devontae Smith. I'm pretty sure they didn't really have a ton of.
They played pretty good defense in the
secondary wise, yeah, but they caused no pressure, and it allowed Jalen Hurts to run for 14 carries, 60 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
But they can figure that out. The Cowboys over the course of the season, they can design up some really nice blitz packages and generate pressure with bringing an extra guy here or there. Like they can figure that part out. Like for me, the more concerning thing would be if they had okay pressure, but their back end was getting burnt, which that's not the problem.
Yeah. I mean, the difference is when you start to blitz, you bring more than obviously you're expected to rush. Yeah. Those guys are out on islands a lot more. Whereas we saw, you said man, but it was really just cover over the top. Yeah. Play everything underneath, because Jalen Hurts typically throws shorter passes, don't allow them to do anything over the top. And when they took away those shorter crossers, he just took off. So, like, it's pick your poison with that Eagles offense.
With an offense like the Cowboys, with the offense that they do have, if you can play decent bend but not break defense, you'll be in a lot of games.
Keep them in the games. Like I said, they have an exciting offense.
I don't know how to like really take that much away from this game because it's week 1. So like the Cowboys might be a 10-win. Like again, you're gonna make a cringe face, but like the Cowboys could be a 10-win team. I don't know, right? So like, if you told me the Eagles only won by 4 points against the Cowboys before the season, I'd be like, I don't know about that. We have to see in time if the Cowboys a legit team. I did not walk away feeling super impressed by what the Eagles put out on the field, except for Jalen Hurts. That guy's the real deal, and he is absolutely a top 5 quarterback. He feels no pressure at all. He is cool, collected at all times. He is an absolute gem of a quarterback. But the rest of the team that should be like a juggernaut roster, I was not overly impressed.
But you can't want your cake and eat it too. You can't say that they're not impressive, but they still started the game. They still started 1-0, and they actually, as good as that offense was for the Cowboys, they made plays when they needed to. The Eagles
made dicey. My point is that game felt dicey the whole time, and I think the Cowboys had an opportunity to win the game at the end.
They did. It was CeeDee Lamb who dropped the touchdown pass, or dropped a pass that could have led to the touchdown, game-winning touchdown for them. I look at it as this. This is a just win. If you're the Eagles, the Eagles don't have to do anything besides just win. They are past the whole make impressive win. They are in that area of where the Chiefs had been for the past 3 or 4 years. Doesn't matter what you do in the regular season. Win your division, get the bye, win in the playoffs. That's where the Eagles are. So the Eagles could win 11, 10, 12 games. There's no difference between if they win 10 games or 13 games. You don't want to play them in the playoffs. Cowboys, if they won this game, that's where I would have said their trajectory would have been better. But with the loss, it puts them behind. They got to play the Eagles again. Yes, they'll get them at home, obviously, but it puts them behind in the division. It's not really like a cakewalk division by any means for them to just get those 4 other wins from other teams. I don't see it as that. So I'm not ready to call them a playoff team yet. I would need more than just this type of game offensively before I look at it and go, oh yeah, they're a playoff team.
All right. Any other like little things you want to mention from the week before we move on to the Frizz's 5? Games we didn't touch on.
Let's see this. Raiders and Geno look decent. I'll give you that. Geno looked good against the Patriots, as much as we talked about the defense of the what's it called? The Patriots supposed to be great. Geno looked decent, and he got the win on the road, so you don't usually expect that from a team. You talked about the Jags. Weird delay.
Slow down so I can jump on.
My bad. Go ahead.
Slow down. Yeah, no, I think the Raiders look very confident. I know the Patriots only scored 13 points, and it was a disappointing loss against the Raiders. It was like, the Raiders aren't even that good. I think the Raiders are a sneaky, decent team this year. I watched the first half of that game because I didn't realize I had red zone at that point. I told you that. I thought the Patriots looked way more competent and way more of a football team this year than I've seen all of last year. I know they
Okay.
only put up 13 points. Drake May in that offense, at least in the first half, looked like it had cohesion. They looked like they have a receiver in Keyshawn Booty.
Took a
Drake
while.
May Drake May looks like that dude. Like he is again one of those guys who seems poised and just makes the plays, right? The plays. I think Patriots fans should feel very optimistic about the rest of the season.
They got a chance. They got a chance to get
At,
themselves 8 and maybe 9 wins, but like that might be it.
at the very least, with the Patriots, though, it seems like they have a good foundation right now.
Yes.
And I see
Yeah.
where they're going. Like, do you're this is your trajectory. It's all up from here with the
You
Patriots.
have a direction, and you
Yes.
can't be mad at having a direction with your team.
Where are you going to go next?
I was just gonna go rat-a-tat-tat. We don't gotta go too deep into the Jags-Panthers game. That game was very weird because they had that delay. Anything that stops a game mid-game, that changes. Well, go ahead. So
Will the real Bryce Young please stand up? Because he looked like early Bryce last year. Like
that pick 6 he threw had me bugging out.
he made some really poor choices in that game.
Not good. Not good at all.
The Travis Hunter experience, by the way, and I just want to jump in a little next there. I was very underwhelmed with the Travis Hunter experience. They gave
not
him
Deion Sanders.
They gave him 4 passes. They were all just like, "Hey, here's the ball, make something happen," and then he played 6 snaps on defense. It felt very useless.
No, he's not Deion Sanders. Get that through your thick skulls, everybody that thinks he's going to be. He's not. I'm hoping he's going to be a phenomenal athlete and a great player, but he's not Deion. So we're not expecting 100 yards offense and an interception on defense every week.
They should have played him at cornerback and not wide receiver.
Better corner than he is wide receiver.
He's a better corner, absolutely. I don't know what they're doing.
He's Richard Sherman. 100% Richard Sherman. I know a lot of people might not like that, but Richard Sherman played wide receiver at Stanford, got to the NFL, and he was a far better corner than he was a wide receiver. And that's what I mean by comparing the two.
Giants, by week 3, it's dart time.
Yeah. Russ did not cook. And it looked ugly. That throw that he had in the red zone where he just threw it in the 17th row, I was like, what are you doing? Like, you are trying to save your job. If you throw a pick there, it's better than you just punting it on 3rd down because it looks like you just don't want to make a mistake, and that's how you lose your job.
On the Bengals, the panic meter should be a goddamn 8. And I'm sick and tired, D. I'm sick and tired of people sticking up for Joe Burrow. Oh, he doesn't have a good defense. He doesn't have this, that. He has one of the best offenses in the league.
Mm-hmm.
T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. You have 2 of the best receivers in the league. Your defense gave up 16 points. You can only put together a measly 17 points against the Browns. I'm so tired of Bengals fans making excuses for their sorry-ass team and for their quarterback, Joe Burrow. They're overrated, overhyped, and they're going to give me this bullshit about, oh, they have slow starts. That's what the Bengals do. Well, you know what they do? They lose in the playoffs. They don't make the playoffs. They need to figure it out, and we need to stop putting Joe Burrow on the pedestal with guys like Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, because he's not there.
Mm-hmm. Did they win?
By 1 point against Joe Flacco.
Was it a road game?
And that game should not have ended the way it did because Joe Flacco.
One more question for you. Is Myles fucking Garrett on the other side?
He's a beast.
So, come on. If they did this against the Jets, that would be one thing. But miss me with, he only put up 17. Myles Garrett is the best player in the NFL right now. I don't care what you say about Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Myles Garrett has to get blocked by 7 people.
Name one other player on that defense.
I don't care.
I dare you.
Doesn't matter.
I dare you.
Devin Bush played for Michigan.
You could have made that name up and I would have not known.
Yeah, but no, Myles Garrett gets blocked by the left tackle, chipped by the left guard, and hit by the running back, and still manages to get 7 tackles, 2 sacks a game. It's unbelievable. So, yes, the offense struggled in the second half, but they got Myles fucking Garrett over there. So, and the Browns usually have the Bengals number. So, the fact that the Bengals were able to still get a win on the road, look, I'm not saying everything that glitters is gold in Cincinnati, but they got the win. And we crapped on the coach, I can't remember his name, but we crapped on him all off season about they always start 0-1. They're 1-0. Zach Taylor. We talk all this crap about them starting 0-1 for the past 6 years. They're 1-0. So I get what you mean offensive wise, but that it's not about the Browns defense. It's about the Browns player that is one of the league's best players in the league. So I'll give him that. And it's not like he didn't make, plays. The man had 2 sacks, 6 tackles. Like he's out there causing havoc everywhere.
My last question, just really from like kind of all the games,
Mhm.
who are you more concerned about after their Week 1 performance? The Denver Broncos squeaking out a win against the Titans. Bo Nix looked pretty bad. Like we thought he was going to take a step forward. He took like 3 steps back. Or are you worried about the Texans? Because both teams had pretty high aspirations coming to the season. The Texans were the favorites to win that division. The Broncos were everyone's Cinderella story of maybe making the playoffs and being a dark horse. But both had some red flags in Week 1.
I'm concerned more about the Texans because the Texans, we said it at the draft, they didn't address any of their offensive line issues, and that it's going to hurt CJ Stroud. The development of him as a quarterback is going to hurt. They don't have like the Nick Chubb's there, fresh off of an ACL tear. Like they don't have an explosive run game by any means. Nico Collins is going to take some time to become Nico Collins. Like I know they got Jaden Higgins out of Arizona State, but they still don't have like an explosive offense behind a weak offensive line. And as great as that defense is, I know that you said that the Rams only scored 14 points. They got a phenomenal defense, but it's the concern about their offensive line that's going to cause problems for them. Broncos will figure it out. Sean Payton, they got the win. I can't say that I'm more concerned about a team that got a win over a team that lost. So they'll fix the bad decisions. Bo Picks.
That's a good one though, because he was throwing.
My friends group says that, and that's why it just came out so nonchalant because they call him Bo Picks all the time. Because Tyhe's a Broncos fan, so like yeah, shouts to Tyhe. But I'm more concerned about them just not addressing their issues that they had last year, which are now carrying into this season because they got a great defense in Houston, but their offensive line is going to cause problems.
The only regret I have is not doing this podcast on Tuesday, so you could talk shit about JJ McCarthy because it's looking real ugly so far.
I mean, I saw that the first quarter ended and he had 2 passes, 1 for 2. So like, it's not about
3 completions. I think for
it ain't shitting on what's like facts. Like I'm telling you guys, like he's not it. Unfortunately, maybe he can become it, but like he's not going to be it this year. I'll tell you that.
He's going to have a crazy second half and make us look stupid. All right, I do want to transition, though, because I know you wanted to give us your Frizz's 5. We've just been rambling, so let's get into that.
Prepare yourselves for the greatest. In podcast history. Let's rank some stuff with D. It's time.
Oh, you don't want to yell? Well, maybe you.
Woo! No, it's like I don't know if my internet's bugging. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. It's me.
All right, it's you. All right, cool. It's like delayed, so like I could barely hear it. But hey, man, look. So it's been a while, right? It's been a while since we've done a Frizz's 5.
And months.
Yeah. So like this is how you know how passionate I am about it. I was at the gym on Saturday and I saw something pop up on one of the ESPN tickers and it pissed me off. And I was like, oh, we got to talk about this. And you've heard these phrases. I'm going with the top 5 most annoying, overused phrases in sports right now.
I love this, actually. This is great.
Follow me with it. And you can remember, it's my top 5. It ain't your top 5. So you can reorder them if you want. There's no honorable mention, but I'll tell you about things that just pissed me off. First one, number 5. Someone being called an all-star or a pro bowler. Look, the phrases are unnecessary now. Remove these tags. I don't care about you called him Matt Jones, the pro bowler. It's a stupid tag to give somebody. All-star. Like we got dudes that like Vince Carter is an all-star his 70th year, but Jaylen Brown isn't one where he's making the NBA finals as an Eastern Conference MVP or a finals MVP. Like the phrase all-star or not all-pro, all-star or pro bowler, it's overused as like a criteria of, look, they're good. No, it's just a stupid phrase. Like, just get rid of them. Like, let's just keep it as all pros, where people that are voting like actually matter, or all NBA. Like, outside of that, I'm sick of hearing that somebody's good because they're an all-star or a pro bowler.
I like that. And just to piggyback off of that rant, I do find it hilarious. Like, I to watch like the local news when I'm like making my breakfast, eating coffee, and they'll have their sports segment. They'll be like, they'll call everyone a star. It's like, oh, Saints star player Spencer Rattler.
Cut it out. You're getting too far ahead of me. Stop. But yes,
I'm already on to you, brother. Okay, go ahead.
Oh my God. All right. Number 4. And this one is, I said all sports were related. I've already connected basketball and football, but this one is more related to just football. I am starting to get sick and tired of hearing the word or phrase game manager. Like, we throw this phrase, and I've used it, and I gotta stop, because like, we're picking and choosing when it's a positive or when it's a negative thing. Like, we say Brock Purdy's a game manager, and then we'll say Jalen Hurts is a game manager. The motherfucker is a Super Bowl champion. Like, I don't care about if they're a game manager, if they're an explosive player, or if they're a game changer. Does that player win games? That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you put up 500 yards and lose, or if you put up 200 and you're hosting a Vince Lombardi trophy. Like, we just got to stop with game manager as a positive or negative phrase.
I think game manager could only mean a positive thing.
No, it's never used in a positive way.
It's not used that way, but like, if you're not managing the game, what are you doing? Like, you're playing quarterback. Like, let me picture the quarterback who's not managing the game. They're just like, yeah, I'm just chucking this thing, man. I play some schoolyard football. I don't give a shit. Like,
let me have Brett Favre. Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a game manager. So like, we just need to remove that phrase from the football terminology, because it's just misconstrued so often as like a negative or a positive. And it's like, let's just end it. Let's just define what somebody actually is.
I want to put a list now together for a future episode of top 5. Well, I want to call YOLO players. That's just out there balling. Doesn't give a shit about wins or losses.
Nick Young is number 1. Nick Young is up there as number 1.
Just someone who's out there just having a good time. Jameis Winston is one of them. He's on my top 5.
Just a Chuck. Exactly. I like that.
Balling, boys, we balling today.
We could go out there. That's actually a really good list. We could make a fucking tournament over that one.
Oh my God. All right. What's your number 3?
All right. Number 3. I'm starting to sweat. This is how hot and bothered I got. Number 3. This is basketball, football, baseball, whatever sport you want to talk about. Stop using the phrase superstar or elite. God. Everybody's fucking elite now. Like, everybody's a superstar. You're like, we used to save it for like the top 2 players in the league, whether it's basketball or your top 2 players, or it's football and your best 2 players, or baseball, whatever. Shohei Ohtani, sure. Bryce Harper, whatever. But like, we got dudes that are like 9, 10, 11, and 12. Like, oh, he's a superstar. Oh, we got the 8th best quarterback in the league is considered elite. It's like annoying. Like, I'm pretty sure I was watching SportsCenter and they were like, superstar quarterback Trevor Lawrence. I was like, what makes him a superstar? What has he done outside of win a national championship 7 years ago in college that has made him a superstar? He's lived up to absolutely no hype in sports, but we tag him as a superstar because he's got Goldilocks hairs and he plays with Jaguars. Like, come on, man. Like, we had the same thing with Tyrese Halliburton. Love the guy. Great NBA player. Why are we talking about him being elite in the same conversation as like LeBron James and Steph Curry? NBA champions, but we're crowning everybody as just elite in their sport. It's like extremely frustrating. I'm sorry. I'm so hot and bothered with these.
No, this is going to make some great clips. This is going to be some great clips, man. I love it. All right. What's your number 2?
So 2, it can be interchangeable. And this is where I say, like, people can go off with what they want. But number 2 for me, I am getting sick. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired of hearing the phrase, he's the GOAT. Dog, GOAT is so biased, and you're never going to change someone's opinion or perspective on who their GOAT is. The last like 4 months, because of the All NBA top 75 that came out, all I've heard is Michael Jordan's the GOAT, LeBron James is the GOAT, Kobe Bryant's the GOAT, like Peyton Manning's the GOAT. Just end it. Just you should talk about who you believe is your favorite player, because there's nothing that constitutes statistically, watching it eye test wise, that's going to define somebody as the greatest of all time in their sport. We got dudes that will say it's Tom Brady. Others will say it's Jerry fucking Rice. Some will say it's LeBron James. Others will say it's Michael Jordan. There's eras that people play in that make them the best at their sport, but there's no way we're crowning a single player in any sport as the greatest of all time, because everybody measures it differently. And it's just exhausting. The older I get, the more that I see these, oh, he's the GOAT. And it's like, that's your opinion. But like, you're not changing my opinion on who I believe is the GOAT. So let's just cut it out with it, man. It's exhausting.
Two things. Number one, I asked my 4-year-old about a month ago, who's the GOAT in basketball? You know what her answer was?
Dwight Howard.
LeBron James.
Oh,
she's a LeBron fan. I don't know. Number two, I like to be an asshole because I hate these conversations about the GOAT. And when someone talks about basketball GOATs and they're just arguing Jordan, LeBron, all that stuff, you know who I throw out there as the GOAT? Bill fucking Russell.
Exactly. I'm saying,
love the championship.
We want rings. Are we talking rings, right?
Talking rings.
For the longest time, it was just stats. All right, cool. If that's the case, why is Peyton Manning not the GOAT? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is Drew Brees not the GOAT if we're going to talk about stats? But no, it's rings. All right, cool. Then why are we not saying Jordan is? Like, it's just such a
stupid.
It's back and forth. And the phrase, I don't know when it started, but it sure as hell wasn't around when we were kids, where people were debating who the GOAT is. We just looked at it and go, oh, Jordan's nasty. Like, it was known. There was no other discussion. So again, it's exhausting for me.
I love how fucking fired up you are right now. All right, D, let me get your drum roll for number one.
The number one overused, annoying, frustrating phrases in sports right now is generational player. Dog. It is being thrown out there for like the 7th best quarterback in college as a generational talent. Like, we are hearing Cam Ward is a generational player. Garrett Nussmeier is a generational player. I've already said his name, but people like Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Arch fucking Manning was thrown out there as a generational player. He's 6'1", 205 pounds as a quarterback for Texas, and he's considered generational. You know who's generational? Barry Bonds, Deion Sanders, Barry Sanders, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. Those guys, they are generational, where we weren't supposed to see another LeBron James, and Giannis Antetokounmpo spawned. Like, that's generational. We weren't supposed to see, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, 60, 70 home run hitters. And then Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, and Barry Bonds were born.
Steroids happen.
I don't care. That's generational, where you never see that shit again. I can look at last year's draft and find another Arch Manning. Like, how is he generational? Trevor Lawrence. Like, we can find 10 of them. One of them's in New England. Drake May. They're the exact same thing. They can run the ball and throw the ball. What is making them generational? And it's more so college related, but Trudeau, I'm telling you, we get to these, I guess basketball, Ace Bailey is a generational talent. What? Victor Wembanyama? Yes, the man is 7'6". He's a unicorn. He was made in a bottle. That is a generational talent. But we're throwing that word out there for everybody that just has some skill in baseball, basketball, or football. And it's like,
you know what they say, D?
Enough is enough.
You know what they say, D?
What do they say?
If you have 2 generational talents, you don't have any.
Why you kill the segment with that, man? Come on.
Wait, you know what? I think I deserve this.
Yeah, that works just as good.
Thanks, Kawhi. Thanks, Kawhi. Let's quickly hit up our betting hits, and then close takes get out of here because we are running late. I feel like these podcasts we could probably just split into 2 episodes at this point.
Yeah, football wise, yes.
Let's bring the money. Do I still have the sound? Oh, I do.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar.
It's been a minute since we did one of these, but if DraftKings was good to your boy, we got some money back on our account. Let's go. Let's make some bets.
Okay.
I'm hitting up all for my betting picks this week. We're doing 3 picks each. We're going to see at the end of the season who has the most successful betting picks between me and D. I'm hitting all NFL. I'm taking week 2 games. Give me Kansas City at home plus 1.5 over Philly. Again, we talked earlier about Philly and Dallas. Do we know if Philly's taking a step back? Super Bowl hangover, maybe? I don't see KC. I know that they look bad in week 1. I don't see them falling in week 2 to go 0-2. They're just too good for that, D. I can get my money music back up in a minute. So I'll take KC in that spot. I'm going Pats on the road plus 1.5 at the Dolphins. I mean, the Dolphins, man. I'm just fading the Dolphins. The vibes are bad. I saw a Patriots team that did lose, but I thought they looked much more competent than the Dolphins. Give me the Pats there. And then finally, sorry, D, I'm going to fade them until I don't have to anymore. Give me the 49ers minus 4.5 at the Saints. I think it's a 4.5 line right now because Brock Purdy is now questionable for Sunday. That man's going to play. That line's going to balloon up to like 6 points by the time Sunday comes around. So give me the 49ers minus 4.5 on the road against your New Orleans Aints.
I mean, you can still give them the S. Like this.
Do we have any crossover in these picks?
I don't think so. Did you take the Cowboys Giants game?
I did not.
Okay, so I'm actually going with this one. I think this is going to be.
Let me get you the proper love before you get your picks.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money.
Dollar, dollar.
All right, hit me up with your picks.
All right, so I'm actually going to go. I know that we talked about them being, not a playoff team earlier, but I think the offense might have an explosion, and I think that the Giants are just a shit storm right now, waiting to happen. So I'm actually going to take 5.5 with the Cowboys. So I'm gonna give the Giants 5.5. I think that the Cowboys could win by a touchdown or more in this game, just because that offense for the Giants looks miserable, and I don't think that they really have a defense either. Cowboys, albeit they're not going to be a playoff team, they're going to beat teams that are very bad, and that Giants team is a very bad team. So give me the 5.5 for the Cowboys on that one.
Okay, I thought about that one.
Yeah, this is also more of a. I think this is going to happen because they're just a hot team. Commanders and Packers. Packers look good, obviously, but the Commanders getting 3.5. I think even if they lose, that could still come down to a 1-possession game where there's like a game-winning field goal and the Commanders were winning on the road. So like if this is 20-18 and the Packers kick a field goal to win, yeah, the Commanders lost, but I'm getting 3.5 points. Even if it's on the road, I think Jaden Daniels can keep that game close. So that's a good one for me.
I almost thought about taking the opposite side of that.
Yeah, you think it's going to be a Packers blowout?
They looked really good in week 1. They're going to get more Micah Parsons in week 2. That Commanders' offensive line is still not great.
Yeah, but Jaden Daniels is incredible in the backfield. And that's the reason why we do this. But that's why I looked at it as you're getting 3.5 for the Commanders. Like, that's a good spread. They could lose the game. I think that they may lose the game, but like that's 3.5 points I'm getting. Like, why not? You know what I'm saying?
What's your last one?
This is college, and I know we always dip our toes in with college, so on and so forth. This team is not being talked about at all as a top 5 team, oddly enough, but it's the Oregon Ducks. They looked good. They've looked good. They put up 70 points their last game, and if you're going to get me 27.5 against Northwestern on the road, yeah, they just beat somebody 70-6. I'll take the Northwestern. I'll take 27.5 for the Ducks on the road because they're going to score like 8 points.
They put up 70. You know who they put up 70 against?
Yeah, D2 team.
No, I thought they played.
Wait, no. They played a D1 team last week. I'll have to go look.
Society today.
Oh yeah, Oklahoma State. Yeah, blew them out on the road.
Where are we at in society today?
Yeah, Mike Gundy got his shit pushed in. But
Oh.
yeah,
That OSU team used to be like a competitive football team. That team is trash now. Mike Gundy needs to.
last couple seasons, I thought that they already fired him. To tell you the truth,
I think he took a pay cut to stick around.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a no-brainer when it comes to blowouts of the weekend. Yeah, Oregon putting up 60 points, and even if they give up 20, they still win by the spread. I think that their offense is explosive, and I think 27.5, not 28.5, 27.5 for those that are afraid of that type of line. Like, no, this Oregon offense is legit.
I might get in on you with that one this weekend.
Cool.
All right.
Cool bet, man.
Long show. Let's get to the closing takes. We have to like fly through the end of this so we can
mine's
get that
short anyway.
Mine's might be a little bit longer, but we'll see.
The show is coming to an end. But first, it's time to get to anything we've missed. It's closing time. 1 segment, 2 takes. Now go.
Closing takes the chance for me and D to say one more take before the end of the show. It can be about the topics of the day, it can be about a completely different sport, it can be about pop culture, whatever we want. It's our time to shine. D, I want to tell you in my closing take that Pablo Torre indeed found out. What did he find out? He found about our old friend. Let me find our guy. Kawhi Leonard. I wanted to talk about the Kawhi Leonard thing really quick because this is the time to do it. It's going to be a dead story in a week or so. It might keep snowballing bigger. Do you know any of the details?
Very minor. My surface level knowledge is it involved basically money outside of what your contract allows you to get or league rules allow you to get.
Yeah. So let's set the stage here. Kawhi Leonard this past, I want to say was it this year or the year prior? I think it was last offseason. Re-upped with the Clippers. He took a not max value for his contract, which is a little surprising, but he was a little flexible, gave the team a little more flexibility cap-wise. And it's a bit odd for him because he's a guy who's always tried to maximize his worth over his time. He's very frugal. He's known to be extremely tight with his money. And there's a company called Aspiration that got involved with the LA Clippers a couple years ago. The company ended up being a complete fraud, and they're facing huge SEC violations. That's not part of the story. But what happened was Aspiration signed this really nice stadium deal with Steve Ballmer and the Clippers for $300 million. Steve Ballmer ended up by investing $50 million of his own money with the company. So he gave Aspiration $50 million. Now, Aspiration is known for paying celebrities to do endorsements and commercials and that sorts of thing. Well, they hired Kawhi Leonard as an employee, like a spokesperson, for $40 million. And, in his contract, he had things like make appearances, social media posts, those sorts of things, those sorts of engagement things. But in the contract, oddly enough, it says that he can opt out of all of them. So everything in his contract was basically optional. And D, let me ask you, how many appearances did Kawhi Leonard make?
Absolutely none.
How many social media posts did he make?
Absolutely none.
How many likes, retweets, all that sort of engagement did he do?
That brother does not pick up a phone.
He got paid $40 million for his company for being a celebrity endorser. D, what? So I told you that he didn't have a contract termination clause for not fulfilling these duties. There was one thing in the contract that was quite odd. What is the one clause to terminate his contract, do you think?
If he didn't sign for the Clippers.
The contract is terminated when he stops becoming a member of the LA Clippers. The only contingency of that $40 million contract was being a member of the Clippers for a no-show job. And Steve Ballmer just happened to donate $50 million to that company as an investment. Steve, that is hallmark salary cap evasion. So to recap, Kawhi Leonard signs a contract for less than the max. He gets this cushy job that pays him $40 million for doing nothing from this fraud company that loves to do scams. And Steve Ballmer happened to donate $50 million to that company. That just sounds like a workaround to give Kawhi Leonard $40 million.
Yeah, and then $10 million of hush money for them.
Yeah.
Not good. And his interview did not look great either. Like, one of the guys, I don't know who was that interviewed him, but they were like, so, like, are you saying that you aren't involved with X company at all? He was like, well, I'm just letting you know that, like, we're not really involved with them. It's like, dude, stand on business. Like, if you're not, you're not. But this interview don't look good for you, Steve.
Well, this has happened in the past once before. Something similar with the Timberwolves in the past. Do you know what happened with Joe? Was it Joe Johnson? Oh, now I'm very upset. I'm not remember the name. It might have been Joe Johnson. Well, anyways, the Timberwolves in the past had a star player. I wish I knew who it was. It wasn't Joe Johnson. But they basically gave him a wink, wink, nod agreement to say, hey, take like a really cheap contract because we can't sign you long term for big money now. But what we'll do is we'll give you your next contract. We'll give you a shit ton of money, like 4 years, because it works their books then. David Stern found out about that and docked them 5 first-round picks and destroyed the contract.
Joe Smith, thank you.
So this happened in the past, and David Stern brought the hammer. So this is a story to keep your eye on. The only thing that I'm very disappointed with is the league and the league partners are being very kind about this and trying to make it out to not be a story. I think they're trying to sweep it under the rug.
Yep.
It's very scandalous.
Because it's a name. It's a name. And that name will draw a lot of attention if it becomes a problem. I mean, what do they do with Shohei?
Yeah.
They got a fall guy. So
and it's not like Kawhi Leonard's been in shady negotiations before. Huh. Oh, wait, didn't he have an Uncle Dennis who tried to bribe the Raptors for a penthouse suite and stuff? Yeah, I think so. So this dude's not foreign to this sort of shenanigans.
Ugh.
All right, what's your closing take, D?
Well, I mean, it's not that in-depth, I guess. I'm not really trying to call anybody out on potential lies. But that would also be a lie because I'm actually going to have a big shouts to the biggest lie in Miami Hurricanes football. So this story came out on a random podcast that Michael Irvin was speaking with Shannon Sharp, and they talked about how he became the number 47. Have you heard about this?
No.
So back in the day, granted, wide receivers never wore number 47. So that's a crappy number to be in the 40s as a wideout. And Michael Irvin was a freshman. And Jimmy Johnson, gave him that number. And he goes to Jimmy, goes, hey, man, I'm the best receiver on this team. I can't be number 47. Like, what's the deal? And Jimmy Johnson responds with, look, the reason why you're this number is because you're like, a big fighter jet, like a 747 going into the end zone, and you get a touchdown every time you catch the ball. So it's 7 scoring 47. Michael Irvin, being 17, 18 years old, goes, you know what? That's actually kind of dope. I like that. Fast forward 40 years later, when Michael Irvin is now inducted into the Hall of Fame, Jimmy Johnson walks up to him and goes, hey, man, I'm glad you bought that story. Michael Irvin goes, what? He goes, that 747 story. He's like, I made that shit up. I don't know what got into me, but I didn't know what to tell you. You were a freshman, and I couldn't give you any other number. It's like, dog, talk about politics. Good for you, Jimmy, holding on to that line for 40 years. And then when he gets inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame, he's able to go, hey, man, I know we were chumming it up when you were a freshman, but I was just letting you know I was full of bullshit. I was lying to your ass back then. It's just one of the funniest stories to hear about sports of nah, man, I can't give you. You're a freshman. I don't care if you're Michael Irvin. I can't give you this number, but I'm gonna make up this story and hope you believe it.
Hey, man, that's why he was one of the best college coaches ever.
One of the best to do it. Not the best, but Jimmy Johnson definitely goes down as one of the best to ever do it. Good for him.
Good show, long show. It's going to be long shows in the football season. We need to start earlier so we can get out of this bitch.
I mean,
recent time.
not gonna be easy with these little demons. One of them just went to bed, but we'll do our best.
All right, D, get us out of here, brother.
Let's get on up out of here. We couldn't appreciate the love that y'all were here listening to us and watching us live. We really do appreciate it and love the fact that you guys were here while we brought back the Frizz and the Frizz's 5, one of the most emotional Frizz's 5s I've ever had. I actually have a headache because of that. So I'm going to go drink some water, take some ibuprofen before I go to bed. But as we're taking up out of here, we always like to say, please make sure you find us on all of our socials. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on our website. You can find your boy on Twitch, _Frizz5. You can also find us on our newly created TikTok, Frizz and the Grizz. Find your clips, find your hot takes, all of those things that piss people off. Make sure that you hit the button. You could even not flag it, but I think it's called tagging as like a favorite. Do all those things. Give us all of the social media love so that we can get into the algorithm for podcasts and people can tell us to sell our podcast equipment because we're trash.
We get that one a lot.
That's definitely the best comment. So I love that. Keep it coming. We love the haters. Also, when we're getting up out of here, please make sure y'all take care of yourselves and take care of others. Be a friend. Say something nice. You never know what it could do for them. Please make sure y'all take care of y'all mentals. Make sure y'all take care of y'all physicals. Take care of y'all chicken. Take care of y'all children. And we'll catch y'all on the rebound. Peace.
I am a better player, but in times like this, it's an opportunity to continue to glorify the Lord, even through the toughest circumstances. I know I'm better than this. I know I'm just praying for the Lord to deliver me from pick sixes. Like that's not me.